Woo! Hello, friends. Feel like I haven't been here in years. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's close that. I finally got like a pad for my mouse, so you'll hear less clicking, I think. Thank you. Hi, Misty. Hi, Namaste. Hi, Anna. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Vera. Hello, Raul. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Nicole. I miss you guys so much. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hi, Cindy. Hello, good morning. Yay. Do you like my blank space? I was like, you know what? We're going to leave it here because I'm going to take my time making this office super magical and exactly what I want. But priority was definitely getting the kids settled and getting the rest of the house in order. So blank walls for me, but kind of love it. Kind of love it. Hi, Cassie. Good morning, Christine. Hi, Becky. Hi, Nikki. Ah, hi, Kristen. Whew. And you guys, so I have a garage full of boxes, okay? Like just all of them. And I purposely put my Coffee and Magic cards in a very specific little box with like my keyboard and like all that stuff. Cause I'm like, I don't want to lose these things, right? So last night, I'm like, all right, I got to find my cards because I haven't looked at them since I moved. And the box is gone. I can't find them. I'm running around like, did my Coffee and Magic cards like jump ship on me? Like, what the heck? Um, but don't worry, I found them. They were strategically tucked into a different box. But I definitely had a slight panic. I was like, "Oh, no." Hi, Valerie. Oh, hi, Rosa. Good morning, good morning. Hi, Jen. Yes, I have moved. It has been so crazy. Hi, Janelle. It has been, like, the craziest couple weeks, like, since last I saw you, it's just been insane. But I am actually starting to get some energy back, and I'm sleeping. Um, the schoolhouse officially changed hands yesterday at 9 o'clock in the morning, giving the keys back to the original owner, which was so fascinating because I had never met him before. Um, and that felt okay. You know, it was definitely a sad week. And I did say my goodbyes to the schoolhouse properly, and I feel good about it. And I'm really excited about being here in this house. I love it. The boys love it. They're really happy. The dogs are adjusting, but Luna doesn't have as much many places to dig like she used to, and to just like run off into the woods, whatever she used to do. But she's gonna be fine, and she smells so much better because she was so dirty all the time. So it's all good, guys. It's all good. It's all good. And I'm so glad to be back here with you. It's felt so weird not to do coffee and magic and not to be connecting. This week, I restarted one on one sessions, which was amazing. Right? So we have a lot going on. We have a lot going on coming up next week, naturally. Naturally, we do. So, how are you guys? Like, hey, I don't even remember when the last time I saw you was. Has it been just a week or has it been 2 weeks? I don't know. It feels like forever, but let's do an energy check in. How are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10 with your energy today? With 1 being obviously roadkill and 10 being a fully animated creature that hasn't been hit by anything on the road. 1 through 10, my friends. Okay, Holly's an 8. Janelle's a 7. All right. Hi, Maggie. Hi, Maya. Raul's also a 7. Maya's a 9. 7. Ricky's a 9. Oh, soup. Oh my God, sorry. Hi, Ricky. Jen is feeling raw, 2, 3. Jay Grinder is a 1. Anna's an 8. Maggie is a 7. Hi, Andrew. How are you feeling? 1 to 10. We've got a 5, an 8, 9, a 5, some sadness around 3, 4. Kristen, we talk soon, right? Nikki the nose, hello. 6-ish, been pretty solid there. Had a day or two of 1, but was self-inflicted. I feel you. Christine says, definitely still feel like I'm shifting, but feels like forever since Coffee Magic. 6. It does feel like forever since Coffee Magic. I feel like I'm a different person since last we spoke, and that's interesting. Um, one of our wonderful Normalized Magic members, you'll know who you are, reached out to me before the move and sent me an email and said something to the effect of like, if you feel like your magic takes a break, like you feel really disconnected, don't worry, it's going to come back. And I've been thinking about that email over the past couple of weeks, especially the last 10 days, because I've been so busy and just running on empty and frantically, manically to get everything done. And there was no room for me to tap into the energy like I normally do because I didn't have the bandwidth. And that felt so weird. And I felt like, oof, am I ever going to do it again? Am I ever going to be getting back into that space? And I kept remembering her email and just saying, like, this is okay. It's part of the process. And when you come back, it's going to be even better. And I do feel that. I I think it's not going to be the same as it was before. And I'm really happy about that. I can definitely feel that I can breathe differently. And yesterday, I woke up, I've been waking up early and having coffee in the front room before the boys get up. And I was sitting there and realizing this was like the first time in I can't even remember how long that I've sat down and had that peaceful cup of coffee without feeling in the back of my mind like tension about somebody else's energy in the room and like what I'm not doing, what I'm expected to do, like am I going to be criticized, like any of that. I was like, no one is going to say anything to me. And it's all of my own energy here. And my nervous system is not used to that. And I think part of me was trying to almost manufacture some issues just to feel like normal again. But this is the new normal that I get to breathe in and out with my own energy. And it feels so good. And I know in speaking to a lot of my private clients, so many people are moving into that space of I want to protect my peace and I want to have that energy around me that allows me to feel like me. And I would just say to you, if that's you right now, if you're in the middle of a major restructuring in your life where you're almost like fighting for your life, right? We've been treading water, guys. Like that's how I feel. Like I've been treading water all the time, just keeping myself above and yet still doing so much. And now I'm taking back my bandwidth and oh, it feels so good. So I'm excited. We have so much going on with the energy. I can't wait to get into the cards with you guys. Quick announcement. I just want to say hi to everybody. Wait. Quick announcement about things. Next week, we resume our Normalized Magic membership. Okay. And for those of you who tried to reach out to me over the past 10 days about the membership, can you reach out again if I did not respond to you? I'm very sorry. It was not the time. I couldn't do it. But we're resuming. We start Wednesday, which will be the 19th. And it's a great time if you've been thinking about joining us to join because we're going to be sailing through eclipse season together and it's gonna be good. This is a group of the most amazing people. And I was going to just not continue it right now. And a lot of y'all were like, no, we're going to keep going. And I'm so glad you did because I'm very excited to continue journeying with you. So it's going to be 12 weeks again. And I'm very excited. So if you are interested in joining us, send me either a DM on Instagram or email me hello@sarahamala.com and I'll get you all the information on that. Or you can just go to my website, sarahamala.com, coffee&magic.com/subscribe. And we start next week. That's the only announcement I have as far as other things. And aside from that, it's time to get into the cards. So we're going to have another Coffee and Magic next week, and we'll have one on next Friday, which today is the 14th. So it'll be the 21st next Friday. So that's going to actually be the day of, like, we'll be officially in eclipse season and in Mercury retrograde. So we'll talk more deeply about it then, but just know that we're really on the on-ramp to this energy now. There's nothing to be afraid of at all. And in fact, if you're a person who feels tension about Mercury retrograde, take a deep breath and release it, because Mercury retrograde is one of those things that is meant to help you slow down and reflect and make sure things go where they need to go. Make sure you're communicating with precision. Make sure that you're not signing up for something that you really don't want to sign up for. It's meant to slow your pace down because you've been going so fast, so that you can make sure things go where they go. That's all. It's needed. It's the ebb and the flow. It's very natural. We tend to think everything is supposed to flow all the time. Nothing in nature does that. If you even think about yourself, you breathe in and then you breathe out. You have to do both of those things. So retrograde is important. And of course, it's happening during the eclipse season, during that eclipse window, which means that it's going to be this 2-week period of slow down so things can move where they need to move. Okay, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. All right. Are you ready? Hi, Kit. Hi, Nara. Hi, Tiff. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 things. You pick the one that feels most aligned with you today, and it'll correspond with the cards. This is my my Wisdom of Avalon deck by Colette Baron Reed, and it's still ready. I know. Oh, what's it going to be? I'm going to give you 3 things, and I'm going to give you. They're going to be birds of prey today, because I had the best dream last night, you guys. I was cuddling an owl and a hawk. So that was the best dream I've ever had. I was snuggling in bed with them. I was petting the owl. The owl was like laying on my chest, but its back was to me. And I was petting the owl, and it was purring like a cat. And I was like, this is the best time of my life. And I had a hawk curled up in my arm. I was like, oh. So what does that mean? But also, that's going to be one of your choices. So we've got owl, hawk, and osprey. What the hell is an osprey? Hold on, let me make sure that is real. It is real. Osprey, osprey. Osprey. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Guys. Okay. So remember I said I was cuddling a hawk? It was actually an osprey. Is an osprey or osprey? Regardless, this is what it looked like because it had that white. So that's fascinating. Okay. So anyway, that's so crazy. I can't believe I just Googled it. I was like, whoa, all right. I'm gonna have to look that up. All right. So owl, hawk, or osprey. You can obviously pick more than one. Which one are you feeling this morning? A lot of you are choosing all of them. Okay. Anna, you always pick all 3. I know. Okay, it does say that. It says sea hawk or river hawk. So I was technically correct, but in my brain, I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was an osprey. But it's nice to have the specific type so that I can look up the symbolism later. Well, it was very cuddly, Janelle. The osprey was really snuggly. The second, so we're doing hawk, owl, and osprey. And so the hawk one, and I'm just like, hawk is like a red tail hawk, okay? It'll be a red tail hawk. You see a lot of those around here. All right, here we go. I can't believe we're back. I'm so excited. I feel crazy with excitement. It's also because I'm having like black tea and I already had my coffee. All right. So again, owl, red-tailed hawk, or osprey? Thank you. This is my compass necklace. All right. I'm so interested to see like what the cards are going to do today. Like, will it be similar cards that usually come out? Will they be totally different? You're choosing from owl, red-tail hawk, or osprey, which is the type of hawk, but it's a water hawk, which is funny because I'm a Scorpio kind of girl. All right. So owl people, tell me when you're ready. It's been a while since we did this. I'm like, ooh, what do we do next? What happens now? Okay. All right. TikTok is ready. Instagram, are you ready? My owl people, YouTube, are you ready? Okay. Okay. Hi, Audrey. All right. So here's your owl message. Love, hawk, and death. Oh. Janelle, can you do me a favor? Will you jot down love, the hawk, and death? I meant to bring a piece of paper with me because I actually want to keep track of my card stuff now. But Janelle, can you do that for me? Thank you. Okay. I'm putting people to work. All right. Love, the hawk, and death. This is your owl message. Okay. So let's talk about these two first. These two for you right now are actually holding hands because in order to truly step in to the self-love you've been talking about, you've had to allow something to fully die. You've had to accept that you can't hold on to this anymore and you had to drop it. And you'll notice we don't have a let go card here. We didn't need to. You didn't even really, you could hardly hold this anymore, right? Like it was disintegrating in your hands. But in order to fully step into that self love, that again, you've been saying you want, you've been saying this is very important to you, you've been saying you know. In order to do that, you have to now fully release whatever this was and let that cycle through, which means energetically if not physically. You may have already released it physically, but you're still holding on a little bit to the energetic threads, which makes total sense. But now is a good time. Now is a good time. You'll feel it because it'll click in. As soon as this drops down, this sense of belonging to yourself will click in. And a lot of things will start to make so much more sense. Things will start to flow in a much easier way, and you'll be able to feel yourself in a different way. And that's going to be the most important thing, the way that you feel yourself. It is going to affect how you make decisions, it is going to affect how you speak, how you show up in the world. It may even affect how you dress and what you eat and what you smell like, because everything's changing when you're seeking validation from within, which is what the self love actually means. It means I no longer require outside validation to find myself worthy of love. It's coming from here. Now, the hawk is coming into view, right? yes, to affirm for you, yes, yes, absolutely, but also to help clear the energy. This was a lot. This was a lot to let go of, and it's a little stinky. Like, it's created disturbance in the air, and the hawk is coming through to help clear that for you. So allow that energy, like bring that into your life, right? What does that mean for you physically? If you're a person who really loves ritual and loves the practice of ritual, hey, maybe that means taking some feathers and just like moving the air around you and really bringing in that energy, okay? Or releasing that energy. So it's beautiful what's happening right now. It's a return to home, okay? It's really good. That is your owl message for this morning. All right. So if you're just joining us, we have started. You have two more. We've got red-tailed hawk and osprey, which is the type of sea hawk. And you can choose from either of those. All right, here we go. Oh, wow, Kit. All right. Well, we're off to the races. Tell me when you're ready. This is your red tail hawk. Okay. So my red tail hawk people, here we go. You have partnership, the swan, and the goblin. This one's really interesting to me this morning because it's really specific. So, yeah, this is a very specific message. So somebody has some one of you must have like a, or more than one of you must have like a very big energetic situation going on in this area. This is it's business, but it's like it's business connected to your personal growth and transformation, if that makes sense. Well, it will. I'll talk about it more. So you've got partnership, the swan, and the goblet. Okay. So here's the story. You have been on this journey, right, of revealing the true self, the true you. You've come into a space where you've been on this spiritual journey. You've been saying to yourself, oh, I trust my instinct more, I trust my intuition more. And you may find yourself with an inclination to take your spiritual journey and turn it into a business. Okay. That's crazy. Like, that's not a thing. No, just kidding. Obviously, it's a thing. So, with that has come possibly an opportunity to partner with somebody who may have a more established spiritual presence, or maybe, at the same space as you are, like whatever it is. It feels like, oh, I should partner with somebody, right? Or maybe you've been approached, or maybe you're in partnership with somebody. Again, this is so specific that I can't feel like it's for everybody. So whoever this is for, like, hopefully it gets to you. Watch the partnership, because part of the reason you may be feeling that you should be partnering with somebody is because you don't trust yourself enough yet. And part of the reason that this person wants to partner with you is because they see what you've got going on and they see your potential, and it's triggering them. It feels like there's a trigger of competition almost, and their reaction to that is to try to control you by partnering with you. Does that make sense? And it's something to just look for, okay? It doesn't mean don't partner with anybody. It just means there is some energy out there happening right now where the goblin is really showing up. And you don't want to make business decisions from a goblin energy, okay? Because it's just not solid. It's very it's going to move. Okay, so trust yourself and move slowly, especially as we move into this energy we're moving into. What is it? Eclipse season. You don't need to rush into anything. There are lessons to be learned, though, in business by making what may be perceived later as the wrong choices. You know what I mean? That's how we learn. So I'm not saying don't do things because that wouldn't be wise, but I am saying if you feel that somebody doesn't have your best interest at heart, pay attention to yourself and don't try to convince yourself that you're wrong. And in addition, while you may be new to a spiritual business, you're not new to the world. You're not born yesterday, okay? You are a full person with full experiences, and you're completely capable of reading the energy of different situations. So always run things through your own personal guidance system and don't let other people tell you what you should be doing or should not be doing unless you've specifically asked them. And the reason you're asking them is because they have displayed a specific acumen in that area that makes you say, oh, you must know what you're talking about because you've been successful at it. Does that make sense too? That are we a lot of us starting businesses right now? Is that like a thing? Because it just feels very much like that's what this is. In addition, if you are new, like if you can, this, I hate the term of what I'm about to say, but if you consider yourself in your brain, like I'm new to this spiritual journey and you're like, I want to start a business, this is your key to slow down just a little bit and make sure that you are first focusing on your healing. Right? It's not to say you can't do both. Absolutely you can. But there is a certain level of self-cognizance that's going to help you a lot. Okay? So a slowdown is in order. Make sense? Did that get to who it needed to get to? Yeah. All right. And the last one is going to be the osprey. All right. Just want to make sure I shuffle really good. I also need pens. So I had them. Remember I bought those cool pens that I love? And wherever they are, it isn't here. Okay, it isn't here. So I'm gonna put that on my list of things to do. Oh, Jesus, sorry. Okay. Tell me when you're ready. It's the last one. It's osprey. If you're just joining, then probably this one is for you. And again, as always with Coffee and Magic, if you missed the other parts, you want to watch it again, you can always watch the replays on either YouTube or the IGTV. Thanks, Kit. I'm so glad to be back with you. Okay, so osprey. Restriction, the Bard, birth and rebirth. All right. Okay. So restriction, the Bard, and birth and rebirth. We're going to talk about this one first. This is, you probably have gotten this one before. It's the restriction card. Restriction could also be called perception, right? Because there are so many rules that you might have in your mind that dictate what you can do. Think of it like this. I'm going to use a video game programming analogy, which is fascinating since I know nothing about video game programming. Hopefully, you don't either, so you won't call me out when this makes no sense. But hear me out. You're a character in a video game, okay? And you have specific programming that tells you how you can move as a character. You can go left, you can go right, you can go forward. You can't go back, and you can't look up, but you can look down. When you see water, you jump over the water. When you see bricks, you try to hammer into bricks. Do you see where I'm getting? You have specific programs that tell you what you as a character can do in this world that you're living in. And that programming is not the same as everybody else's. But you may not think of it that way. You may not realize that everybody has different programs. Some of us have a collective program, right? A lot of us do, especially if we are living in the same societal structure and the same cultures. Those things dictate your programs and what you feel you're allowed to do and what you feel you're not allowed to do, and not even allowed, able, physically able, capable. Okay. What's been happening over the past year, 2 years, 5 years, 6 years, so many years actually, but especially this year, right? And last year, is you've been identifying all of that coding and deciding, I don't I don't think that I want this here anymore because I didn't consciously agree to this coding. This is somebody else's game coding. And I'm playing somebody else's game when I behave this way. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you behave reflexively based off of your coding, you're in someone else's game. So what you've been doing is the work of recoding yourself, which means when you feel stuck, you have to ask yourself, am I actually stuck? Or is that just old coding that says you're stuck? Okay. It is big work because it's inside. It's your program, right? But what it proves when you successfully do reprogram, it proves that you are the game, the gamer, and the NPC, so to speak, the character. You're all of it. It proves that when you're able to do it. So, a pause for a second. Are you following my spaghetti so far? Is this making sense? Because I want to make sure that that made sense before I get to the other two cards about this. Okay, so following up on that, we've got the Bard and the Birth and the Rebirth. There are so many movies out there, I think, that I can't name one, but aren't there so many movies where the players, like, in a game become like Wreck-It Ralph, right? That's one where the players in the game suddenly gain self-awareness, right? Janelle says free guy is one as well. I didn't see that. This is basically what it is. Now that you realize and you're doing all of that, right? It's time to create the new story. What's the new story? What's your new story? I don't know, but you're the one writing it now. It's birth and rebirth. It's not death, it's birth and rebirth, which remember is a new cycle of an energy, and that energy is you. New cycle of you, which means you are coming up out of this time of autopilot, of amnesia, of feeling powerless, feeling like aimless sometimes, and feeling defeated. You're coming out of this now into a space where you create the rules, you change the coding, which also puts you as the person responsible for your happiness or your unhappiness. In this new game you're playing, you can't blame anything on anyone else anymore. And for that fact alone, a lot of people don't want to do this yet. Because if you can't blame anything else for your misfortune, for your unhappiness, for your happiness, it's too much. And that's fair. When you're ready to be in this space, you'll be in this space. And we don't want to rush anybody into that space. Please remember that. Okay? You don't want to rush anybody into anything. You need to mind your space. You need to pay attention to yourself. You need to focus on yourself because that's how you're going to make all of the changes you wish to see in the world. It starts right here. Okay? I was having a session with somebody this week, and we were talking about how overwhelming it is sometimes because the world is so terrible. There's so many horrible things happening, and it's like she was feeling like if she just like didn't think about everything or hold everything up, like it would just all fall apart, and she has to help as much as she can in every way possible. And we talked about the concept of how significant our insignificance can truly be, right? Because if you think about it, what a massive egoic feat to think that somehow you need to pay attention to every single thing that's going on in the world, care about it, and do something about it. Otherwise, it's all going to fall apart. You think that you are in charge of that? What if you were completely insignificant? What if you didn't matter at all? Imagine the freedom in that insignificance, and imagine how much you could then accomplish when you're not actually in charge of the whole world, right? So, something to think about. It's a concept, not a rule. It's a concept. And if it hits for you, then like take it and make it yours, right? But this is where we're at. You're breaking free from being in a program that you've been in for a really long time. And when you get into this space where you actually start living in the narrative you've written, it feels real good, okay? And I can tell you that because I'm doing it. And I'm going to tell you all about it as I'm doing it. And it feels pretty fucking good. It's hard sometimes. A lot of times it is really hard because you have to make decisions that you have not made for the very reason of why you've not made them, because you didn't want to inconvenience anybody. You were scared. You didn't want to hurt anybody. All of these reasons of restrictions why you couldn't do something, right? But I can tell you right now that as I step out into the other side, so many of the things I feared the most don't even exist. I worried so much that I was snatching my kids up from this beautiful home that I thought was going to be our forever home, and they weren't going to be happy and they would be sad all the time, and it was just going to ruin their lives. But guess what actually happened? I moved my kids into a home in a neighborhood that is beautiful, tree lined, with sidewalks, with friends right around the corner, with our basket hoop right in front of the house, with walking distance to a school. How did that happen? It happened because I'm writing my story now. Okay. That doesn't mean I'm not scared. It doesn't mean I don't have worries about things. It doesn't mean sometimes I don't believe, right? That's life. You're up and down all the time. But what I did know is that I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm going to start taking control of what my life is, how it feels, and what I'm doing. And it feels amazing. And this is here for you to do as well. Okay? Write your story. And remember, everything in your head is there for a reason. Like that's where we create things. So if you believe it's real, then it's freaking real because that's what you're experiencing, right? It's amazing, magical. So that's your osprey message for this morning. Coffee and Magic is back. I'm back and I feel really good and I'm so happy. And I thought I would get on here and cry to you today, but I think I cried enough this week and I don't have any more left. But things are here for us now, guys. They're here. And we are sovereign beings and we're in a space of love, right? Here we are, right in this heart space. And I'm so happy to be on this journey with you guys. So excited to be back. I've said it a million times. I'll say it all the time. And I will be back next week. But listen, before I am back next week, we're doing a time change because I have to now take my kids to school in the morning in the car. So whereas Coffee and Magic is normally 8:30 on Mondays, I'm going to have to push it to 9 a.m. So Mondays is going to be 9 a.m. and Fridays will remain at 10. Unless you'd prefer 9 for both, but I feel like my West Coasters, like if you have the opportunity, 10 would be better than 9, right? So 9 a.m. on Mondays, 10 a.m. on Fridays. And don't worry, I'll send that out in some sort of email so that, you have it. I'll remind you. Okay. I love you guys. I love you. I'll see you again on Monday. I hope you have an awesome, awesome weekend. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. Be gentle. Mwah. I'll see you so soon. Mwah, 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 mwah. Thanks, Kit. Goodbye, my friends. Mwah.